Welcome to a gaming podcast where we're going to be talking all about our experience playing Gears of War, the campaign. Riley, how are you this week?
I am great. I'm buzzing. This is an exciting one to unpack.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we were left to our own devices to talk about Gears of War, the multiplayer preview that we got to experience a couple weeks ago before the beta, and resounding success. Literally everyone was like, we got to bring these two back to talk about the campaign.
Yeah, it was pretty unanimous, I think, that
It
the
really
internet
was.
demanded that this happen again. So I'm glad that we could give them this.
I'm really glad, and now that no one else is here to say it, we really do carry this channel, right? Like
I think Marcel honestly would agree. Even
I
if he
would
were
too.
here.
I would assume he would.
Yeah.
I feel like Steve Saylor too bashful to agree. He wouldn't say
But he
it.
knows.
But he
They all
knows.
know, though.
They all
They
know.
know.
They know. They know. And you know what? This episode just proves it, because I mean, we're here. We're talking about our hands-on time, talking about Gears of War campaign, setting things up for everyone. We got to play about, I would say, like about an hour, I guess.
Yeah, I know the official timeline was like hour and a half, 2 hours to complete it, but I
Depending
definitely
on
blew
play
through
time.
it pretty quick. Yeah.
So did I. It was split across, I guess, a chapter and a half, and we'll talk about like
Yeah.
the framing of it a little bit more as we get into it. But yeah, we were thrown into the second act of the story, starting from the beginning of the act. So Act 2, Chapter 1 into Chapter 2, got to experience more of a linear part, a linear chapter, as well as getting into like the open. I'm remiss to say open world, but open map, so to speak.
Open area-ish?
Open hub.
Yeah. Yeah, open hub. That's a
Yeah.
good way of saying it.
And we'll get into that as well. But yeah, just top level, like, how are you feeling about Gears of War, the campaign, now that we've gotten to actually go hands-on with it?
Playing through it feels the most Gears of War in its like linear approach. I'm like, this feels very modern, like just jumping from cover to cover, taking these guys out, these waves of enemies. Like,
Yeah.
it feels more classic. Like, it's not trying to do too much, and it looks stunning.
Oh,
So I'm
yeah.
like, okay, like this is exactly what I wanted from this.
Sure. Yeah. No, I feel the same way. I think, like, from its base approach, it is getting back into the cover-based system. It's getting back into there's no unneeded additives. It's
No.
your team getting in there, destroying Locust with a cool array of weapons. They introduce some new ones into the fold and everything. But like, I haven't felt this way about Gears of War since Gears of War 3, really. Of like, it is just Gears of War. It's not, we're not dealing with, the robots or the other enemies that they were trying to introduce in 4 and 5.
Yeah.
I was like, this is just Gears of War in its purest distilled form, and I'm feeling really, really good about it from that approach. And I guess just setting up, we do get a little bit of like context to the story. I would assume that this kind of followed right after that Xbox Game Showcase spectacle that they showed us, where Marcus gets saved by Ty with the chainsaw, and they're basically getting into being recruited as part of like Bravo team, getting the armor on. Like, we see Marcus with the COG armor on, and it just looks and feels so good. And then you're kind of the first chapter is you being sent to this like large bridge installation in Kelowna, where the entire story takes place. I think that they said that this is the morning after the emergence starts, so you're kind of dealing with the aftermath of it and everything. So talk me through your experience going through that first chapter, going through breaching the bridge, getting from one side to the other. How are you feeling about that?
I think like the action is still very like much intact and very true to what I would say closer to the original trilogy even than 4 and 5. Like, it is
totally.
very like focused, which is
Yeah.
great because Marcus and Dom are obviously the pillars of this experience. So it's cool to be back. I think what they really did well in this is, while the action is very, very reminiscent of past games, they're doing a really, really good job at fleshing out a massive cast around you.
Right.
Which is going to be super sad because these people are going to start getting absolutely torn apart throughout the campaign. So like, you're meeting different squads, and you're getting to learn all the characters. Where I think the original Gears had like some side characters they'd introduced, Ty being one of them, and two, and then like Lieutenant Kim and like the Carmines and stuff like that. Like it's little side characters that they introduce and then kill, and it makes you feel things. Like they're casting a very wide net, and all of the characters are very likable.
Yeah, no,
Like,
totally. So
they're like Bairds almost. Like they're quippy and it's so I'm like, this is gonna get really sad for me.
yeah, on Bravo team or Bravo squad, you obviously have Marcus, you have Dom, the anchors of it all. That's why we're here. We're
Yep.
excited to see these two characters near and dear to our heart come back together. But then we have Reyes and Mags, I believe,
Yeah.
who are kind of filling in this the third and fourth spot. There is Captain Gray as well that we're introduced to. Colonel Trench, Mayor Shaw. Like there is a huge cast of characters, and like you were saying, as we go through that even first mission, we're coming across other I think it's like Charlie Squad and like other ones that kind of like go off and do their own thing, but then come back
Yep.
and yeah, it's a really unique aspect because throughout that first core trilogy, you are basically just with Baird and Coltrane, and you build a lot of love for those characters, but you don't really see the huge array of cog soldiers out there doing the thing.
Yeah, like you always feel like you're very much like isolated in a bigger conflict where
Yep.
like this feels like you're very much like a small cog in a massive conflict. Like they've done a really good job at scaling it.
Totally, yeah, and even going back to one of your other points earlier is like this game just looks beautiful. The
Oh yeah.
scale of just exploring and going through that bridge and just seeing like the horizon off in the distance and everything looks beautiful, like immaculate from a performance standpoint.
I'm really excited. Like, and even like just visually, like if you look off in the distance, there's things going on. Like
Yep.
there's certain sections even out like after you clear the bridge area, where there's like conversations going on all
Totally.
around you.
Yep.
And if you linger long enough, like they'll just have dialogue with each other. Like they don't leave you in silence. Like they've really done an incredible job, like scaling this world and making me be like, man, it'd be kind of cool if like we got some of this in the original, obviously 360, but
Right.
you know, it's like this really is like making me way more immersed in the world that's going on. And
Yeah.
Marcus is just such a great anchor for that franchise because he's just like a brick wall to everything.
Oh yeah.
Everything
But
just
like
bounces off him.
we're getting so
Perfect.
many like Phoenix-isms once again. And
Oh yeah.
I forgot the fact that I missed all of those of like the one-liners that oh shit. Like
Yeah. Nothing but bits. Yeah.
yeah,
It's so
like,
good.
oh my god. John DiMaggio, what a class act for that
Stack
character.
them up. Yeah,
Stack
it's
them
so
up.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
so
yeah,
good. Oh, I
exactly. That
love
that
it.
that was another one that I was
love
like,
it.
"Oh, this is gonna be one that I go back to all the time." Like, just
Yeah.
add
Oh
it to the
yeah.
queue. Yeah, stack them up. Like,
I'm down. Revive me. It's
yeah,
like so good. Oh, dude. Yeah. This game is going to be quoted forever. And what I kind of like about it is like it's a very dark world that they've created. Like
yes.
it's pretty terrifying, but there's quips within it that make it so like funny as well.
Yeah.
Like the first time that Marcus and Dom ever see a boomer, it comes out goes boom, and then
Yeah.
Dom goes, "Did that thing just say boom?" Like, yeah, like there's the dialogue is back, and the Brotherhood is like back, and it's just like really cool to see it kind of play out from the perspective of they're meeting these creatures from the first time
And
versus
being, like,
like being well
completely
versed with them.
baffled.
Yeah, like
But
what that like a giant
there
lizard thing just attacked them. Oh, like it's just awesome.
well, I think it's, like, later on when I can't remember the name, but, like, the big crawler thing comes out of the ground, and they're like
Oh yes, yeah.
and and I think it's Dom that says something about, like, "Oh, that giant glove just came out of the ground."
It's funny. Well, there's like even like the side characters from other squads. Like at the end of the second chapter, you it cuts off right when you exit the train station.
Yes. Yeah.
So you're with Ty's squad,
Yeah.
and you're talking to him, and one of the other characters comes out. One of the characters who's leading the other squad. He's talking to you, and goes, all right, well, you go do your thing. And I was just kind of poking around the train station to see if there was anything else.
Okay.
And Marcus just starts a dialogue like totally unprompted with one of the characters while you're hanging out. And he's like, so you see anything weird out there? And he's like, weirder than like a giant spider that tunnels underground and claws buildings down. And he's like, yeah, good point. And he's like, no, I haven't. And it's just like really funny. It's just like, I'm like, I love that they break the tension that way.
Yes.
But they've done a really good job. Like, one of the other things I want to highlight is like the sound design in the game is really, really good.
Yep.
So when you are like fighting waves of stuff, or you're walking through like at the time like a quiet corridor or something like that, and you just hear like grumbling or grunting of like one of the locusts, you're like, oh crap, like where is it?
Where
like
is
you're
it?
looking around for it, yeah. And it like they do a really good job, so like creating that atmosphere. So I can see in some of the more claustrophobic areas that I imagine will come up, probably in the subway system where you like the train area at some
Yeah.
point. I bet they can make it pretty scary.
Yeah, I do think that it does a good job of balancing those two things of like the humor. And I know, Gears has always been kind of renowned for its, being a bro shooter, but that first game is legitimately a great survival horror game. And you kind of do get that in some instances here. Like I think some of the corridors you go through on that bridge or even later at the train station and everything, I'm like, this is genuinely terrifying if you were to put yourself in the shoes of Marcus or any of these guys and everything. Especially when you do get introduced to like the new, like heavier locusts, the guys with like the heavy boom shots and everything. I was like, oh my God, these guys are terrifying.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Like bullet
and they're tough to
sponges.
take down.
Yeah,
It's cool.
yeah,
Yeah, it's cool. Like they've done a really good job, like ensuring that some of those vibes from the original trilogy are back. Where I
totally.
think they ignored that to go bigger and more grandiose, but like the characters never really landed. Like it's just really cool to see where the cog is at this point in the story, because
Totally.
it's a very different cog.
It is, but I'm glad, at least from what we've played, it shows that the coalition still understands what makes Gears of War Gears of War. Like, sure, maybe
Yeah.
the story got away from them or went in a direction that didn't really resonate with core fans, but seeing E-Day and seeing the way that they've kind of set the tapestry of, Marcus and Dom and everything from E-Day and everything, I'm like, they still understand. And
They get it.
that's
Yeah.
really, really refreshing and hopeful, that, it can land for the rest of the game and everything. I do want to talk about that second chapter because that's when we kind of get into the open hub area where you're freely allowed to explore Kelowna, where this takes place, not Kelowna, BC, but Kelowna, I guess it's the
Very inspired by Vancouver and the surrounding
yeah,
area, though,
yeah,
right?
where
Like
they're
even the bridge is very
totally, yeah,
Vancouver.
Vancouver Bridge, yeah. I know a lot of people were kind of mixed on Gears of War 5 having kind of like an open hub, open area
Yeah,
style. What do you feel about their approach this time? Because this time, to me at least, it kind of shows this kind of like more human approach to Gears of War where you're,
cool.
fighting and saving civilians. You're doing like side missions to get weapon mods that you can go into the supply caches and then go in and customize your weapons to add like scopes and different mags and everything. So to me it kind of justifies the existence of an open area. How do you feel about it so far? We didn't get to play too much of it.
Yeah, they obviously you get into this area and they have side missions that pop up on the way to the main objective. They do kind of feed you in this section. They it's not like we experience obviously horde mode, which is like a truly open map.
Right.
This is more like they kind of push you down a broad tunnel that you can kind of go off and do other things in. I think I actually like it a lot more.
Me too.
It allows for Gears of War to me was never open world. Like there are elements where that's a cool thing in a multiplayer like setting, but it's not something I really need in the single player experience. And to be honest, I don't think it was that well received in the past game. So I think that, like, the way they've done it is to make it still, like, lean into the linear nature of the campaign, broaden it, let you do other things, interact with other characters, get to
Yep.
see the world, and it's the way they've done it too is, like, really cool because you'll be walking down and, maybe there's a collectible or something you pick up, or maybe there's nothing but, like, some bodies or something, but every little corner tells a story. So it's like,
Totally.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's like, like, oh, what happened here? And it's like you see bullet holes behind and like a body there and someone like holding like their lunch or something that's a collectible or like something like that.
Right.
I'm like every nook, even if there's not a collectible, like there's a story or something has happened. You're like, what happened here? And then you can
Yep.
see it play out. And it's like that's kind of cool. Like,
Yeah, whereas in Gears 5, when it was in the open areas, it felt like, you were on your little, you know, sled or whatever, going from one open area into the next to find a side objective or get to the main objective. Here, it does feel like, okay, I'm going from one area, and then within 30 seconds, I'm doing an objective, a side objective, finding a collectible. Do like the action never really ceases, and I think it's because it's open, but you're still within the cities and the confines of Kelowna. So you're going down streets, you're going down back alleys, you're interacting with civilians who need your help, or going down an alley and finding a collectible, or you could just bypass all of this and just mainline it to the next objectives as it seems. And I think that along the way, having those weapon mods does incentivize me to go and do a side objective where it is kind of just, hey, an eel hole opens up in the ground, close it up, and you get rewarded for it like right away.
yeah, no, it's true. Like I think they've structured it well, and it
Very
makes me
well.
excited because like I don't want to. I mean, like I have nothing against open world games. Like it's some of my favorite games are open world, but I just don't think it fits Gears that well. It's a cover based shooter. Like it's action heavy.
No.
Yeah, I think that this is the best way to do it. You still have your set pieces in the open world, which are really cool. Uh,
Yes.
I, like at one point you're walking out, and you're like, oh, the squad is they're fighting some locust or something like that, and then all of a sudden like this creature just emerges from the ground, and it's
Right.
like, oh my god, like
Yeah.
it's like it gets really crazy very quickly, and it's a
Yep.
lot of
Yeah. No.
fun.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I think fans of Gears are gonna feel like this feels much more like what they want it to be than past games,
Right. Yeah.
recent past games.
Totally. How are you feeling about the new weapons that we've been introduced to? We've got the breach shot weapon, which is kind of this long range rifle. Got the heavy boom shot, which is a more heavier weapon that was dropped by the big, larger, hulkier guys. And then we got this is one of my critiques on the entire thing is we got the origin of the chainsaw lancer, which I didn't need. I didn't need at all.
No, and it felt kind of sloppy, to be
Yeah.
honest. Yeah, I was like, okay, like he just did that in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
okay,
We're introduced to Russ, who was like, this munitions guy who works for COG and everything. And Ty drops down the chainsaw, which we saw in like one of the previous trailers and everything. He's like, wait a minute, I got an idea. Why don't you guys go take a lunch break? I'll be back.
why
And
don't you
then
go
he
eat
just
a
makes like
Danny? Yeah,
7 chainsaw lancers in that time. And I was like,
yeah. He's like, here you go. I
oh,
made 100 of these. It's like,
I was like, I don't know
what?
if I needed to know how this weapon got created, this iconic weapon of Gears of War, but
It didn't really. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, the pace in which they did it didn't really make sense. But
no,
like, if it was
it's
like a
like
prototype they found in a lab, that would have made more sense to me. But for narrative reasons, that it seemed a little lazy.
yeah, it's like knowing why Han Solo is called Han Solo. Like I don't care. I don't need to know. It's a
It doesn't
badass
really matter.
weapon. Yeah,
No,
exactly. But some of the new weapons, like how are you feeling about them? Did you gravitate towards one or the other?
they're fine. I think I pretty much kept it classic.
Okay.
Like I used the prototype Lancer, and then before that the bayonet.
Yeah.
So I felt like that was more kind of in line with what I wanted from the Gears experience. Like I think is it the Breacher
Yeah, the
or
shotgun.
yeah. I mean, like the Nasher's great. I love the
Yeah.
Nasher, but like I think they have the breach shot that you can pull from guys, the hammer
Yep.
burst, which is a classic. So I mean, those are fine. Like I just kind of gravitate towards the main ones, and they don't really do anything that different.
No,
Like
I felt like the breach shot was the only one that I thought was unique enough where it kind of bridges the gap between a lancer and the sniper
Sure.
rifle, where it is you
Yep.
get that kind of that distance,
A
and
little
if
more
you
range, yeah.
land a headshot, dude, going back to the audio design, anytime you hit a and you get like the
The pop.
the
Yeah.
pop and like the liquidness and everything,
Oh,
like
yeah.
it sounds so gross, but goddamn, is it ever satisfying. But yeah, there was also, I don't know if you found it in the train station, the gut punch.
Oh, no, where's the gut punch? I
I don't,
totally missed that.
it kind of like lobs almost a grenade. I could
Yeah.
never get it to work. It kind of felt like it lobs an impact grenade or something. I could never get it to work, and I was like, I don't like this
I
weapon,
missed
so I
that
dropped
entirely.
it.
Okay, well, good. I might have to play it again. I might
Yeah.
have to go through and try it again and see if there's anything different.
Yeah.
I gravitated towards, once you drop a boomer, just grab the boom shot and
Oh,
light
yeah.
them up. Like,
Oh my god. Just unload.
just limbs flying
Yeah.
everywhere. It's so good. You can blow up cover with it. Like,
Yes.
that's a cool element. I was like, okay, this, like, they've really made this like a heavy hitter weapon. Like, it's pretty cool. So that was really awesome. I love the boom shot.
Yeah,
Some of the
there's
changes there are perfect.
there's quite a lot of destructibility within the world where you
Yeah.
can blow up cover. Bullet holes can be put into like cars and stuff. Like you can go as far as to shoot out the tires of cars and they'll like deflate and kind of like sink into the ground a little more. You
Yep.
know, windows and stuff like that. There's quite a lot of immersiveness and interactiveness within the world that I found really nice.
Yeah, it was really good. And again, like, going back to the soldiers, like, what did you think of some of the personalities we met during the experience?
I was a little hesitant because it is kind of like one of those things where I covet like the original core four so much that as soon as I
Yeah,
got introduced
definitely.
to Reyes and Megs, I was like, you guys aren't them and everything. But towards the end of it, I was
No.
like, okay, I can kind of see this being a more scrappy group that we're being introduced to. It is going to be interesting to see where these characters go or what happens to them because obviously we don't hear of them after
They are
this. So
not
it's
in
like,
the ones after this. So yeah, what
yeah,
does happen? I think the framing of some of the core squad mates is interesting. Lucas is like he's like a very like rookie, like coming
totally.
in brand
Yeah.
new. So he's very by the books and trying to like appease the people in command and stuff like that. Whereas Mags is more, she was discharged and
Yep.
has now kind of found herself back in this spot. And she's like she's very skeptical of leadership.
Yep.
Whereas I think Marcus right now at this point, Marcus and Dom are like, we'll do what we're told right now. Like,
Hmm.
but a bit more in between those two. So
Yep.
there's like a neat balance there. So I'm curious to see how that plays out. And,
Yeah, because
and what these leave on the characters if they survive or if they don't.
well, yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
assuming they don't, but
No, unfortunately not. It's interesting because like Marcus, for instance, is almost framed as not even having this leadership role in him right now. Like he is
no.
kind of just because like we talked about like there is Captain Gray who leads Bravo Squad, so like there is a person above Marcus. So it's interesting to see him kind of having to fall in line alongside Dom and the rest of them. I thought
Yeah,
that was
and
very interesting.
he's framed They frame Marcus really interesting between Valen, who's the leader of one of the squads, and
Yep.
then Ty, who's the leader of the second one. So there's like a lot of personalities in there too, but like they're all very different styles.
Yes.
So I'm like I'm kind of interested to see how Marcus grows into the role. But
Yeah.
as playing as Marcus, he obviously talks a lot more than the
Oh,
other
hell yeah.
characters, which is great. But
Amazing. Yeah.
I think I am really curious to see how everything goes with like who gets out of this. Who's gonna get out of Kelowna? Like I mean, we know Dom, Marcus, and Ty.
Yeah.
But
Everyone else?
Who knows? Who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting.
The other thing we've kind of touched on, but I want to get your take on it was, interacting in the open world areas. There are supply caches, much like we saw in the multiplayer, where you can go in, customize your weapons, upgrade them, and stuff like that. Did you play around with any of that?
I did. Yeah, so one of you can get these upgrades by completing side missions or just stumbling upon them in crates, which is kind of neat.
Oh, I didn't do that actually.
I found
okay,
a
interesting.
crate. I found it's like a big yellow box and I found like one of the locusts was like eating a body next to it, so I just shot them and then opened this thing
Yeah.
and it unlocked like an upgrade. But I like that element of it. I think it's just like it's a cool way to be like, oh, like this was a city and people were here and
Right.
these things did exist in case there was like they keep talking about like the prior conflict, like the Indie War,
Yeah.
which they had just like that had just ended. So they're like, is this the Indies like planning something against us? Like, did they do this? Like, so obviously everything around that city too is very, very like propaganda heavy and
Yeah.
like, but like it makes sense why these things would be in an environment like that because they're ready for like an attack. Like that they had
Sure.
just finished a conflict.
Yeah.
So those sorts of things aren't like so, but I think the framing of it works in the world is what I'm trying to say. But like I like the ability to customize my weapons and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like that I think that's great.
It's something I never really thought I needed in a Gears of War game. Never
No.
thought to myself like, "Hey, it would be nice to have extended mags or do this and that, like adjust
Yeah.
recoil and stuff like that." But as I started upgrading them, and again going back to the justification of side activities and stuff like that, I was like, "Oh, I could see myself getting into this a little more and kind of tailoring my experience." You can go in and like anytime you find a supply cache is when you can actually swap out your loadout too. So it's like, okay, if I don't want the Lancer anymore, I can get the Hammer Burst or something like that and swap out, the Gnasher for something else. It's a cool opportunity. At one point, I accidentally equipped myself with 2 Lancers and I just walked away. I was like, oh, I got rid of my shotgun. Damn it. That sucks.
I did that a couple of times. I'm like,
Yeah.
I wanted that. I needed that badly.
Yeah.
But no, it is a nice touch in a way to kind of allow you to play the game you want. And
Yeah.
if you're playing through 4-player co-op online, I think it's split screen locally.
Yep.
You can diversify what everybody does,
Right.
which I think is needed.
Yeah, you
so
can
I think
make
it works really
rolls
well.
if you want. Yeah.
Yeah. You can be like, you get the sniper rifle, like I'll take the shotgun, we'll have
Yep.
a couple mid-rangers. Like it is cool that way. So I think like when you get into some of the more challenging difficulties, if you're doing a playthrough of that, like you're gonna
Yeah, if you're
want
doing
those
like
options.
Insanity or whatever, you definitely want
Yeah, you're gonna want to have that option. So to
Yeah.
be able to specify your squad a little more is nice, and the way they've done it is smart.
Yep. The only other thing that I had on my notes was through the use of collectibles, we kind of get a sense for the game's
I know what you're
length.
gonna say. I know you're gonna. Okay, yeah, go on.
Is that yeah? So because of the collectibles were in there, we could go into the collectibles menu, and in that saw Act 1 has 4 chapters, Act 2 has 4 chapters. No idea beyond that, but
Yeah,
at least it seems like the game is following a certain cadence to previous Gears, where it is at least 4 chapters per act and everything.
yeah.
So
Yeah, it seemed. I
interesting
think
to know.
I'm hoping it's a good length because like it ended and I was like, I want to play. Like I
Right.
really want to play more now.
Yep.
I'm like, so I'm super excited to play more. Staying on the collectibles for a second,
Yeah,
though.
please.
I mean, they're leaning pretty hard on Coltrane being in Kelowna while this is going down, right?
Yes.
He is like definitely in town when this is happening. So I
Yeah.
think there might be an encounter, right?
I again, because we're dealing with so many different squads, dealing with so many different characters, there's an audible call out to Coltrane as well when you see the
Yeah.
stadium. They're like, who doesn't love Coltrane or whatever? I was like, me, I love Coltrane. Like I'm one of those
And the
guys.
collectibles are like you pick up like a sports magazine and it says he's in town to
Yep.
play against the Kelowna Eagles.
Yep, which is the
and
stadium you go to
and
and
then
everything.
and
Yeah.
then Lucas is like, I just, or maybe it was Dom. It's like, oh, I just spent all my money
Yes, it
getting
was Dom.
tickets
Yeah.
for the game
Yeah.
today.
Yes.
So it's like Coltrane is
Train is
present in this
around.
conflict
Yeah.
somewhere. So I'm like, I feel like we're gonna see him.
You have to, right?
Yeah, we have to, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know if they'll meet him, but I think he'll be present in some form.
I hope so. Because especially that line where Dom was talking about the tickets, I was like,
He got the tickets to the game, and like if you read the magazine, it's like, oh, like Coltrane proved everybody wrong because he played for the Eagles in Kelowna and
Right.
left to join the Cougars.
yep.
And they won the championship and breezed by the Eagles, and Then Dom references losing money to Marcus.
That's
in
right.
that, in
Yeah.
that
Having
bet,
to owe him
and that
like
he had the
10
money
bucks.
to
Yeah.
the tickets because it was a big showdown. He's back
Yeah.
in town. So I'm like, okay, this is going to
Very deliberate.
he has this is very intentional, like that they've left this dialogue in for this playthrough. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking the Cole train's going to show up at some point in this campaign, which makes
Choo-choo.
me very excited. Yeah,
Choo-choo.
yeah. The Cole train runs on whole grain, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you have anything else? That was basically all my notes.
No, yeah, I think what just final thoughts. I cannot wait to play more of this game.
Oh my god.
I love Gears of War so much. The
Yeah.
campaign is awesome. The action that they showcased just in the little snippet I played is crazy cool. The corpsers emerging from the ground
Oh
mid
my
thing,
God.
like all this stuff. It's so good. So
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see where they go, how the enemies innovate. They allude to what looks like a Brumac encounter in the first chapter that we just see the remnants of.
Yep.
So I'm really eager to see how that first chapter plays out, because it sounds like it's going to be chaotic and a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
I'm ready for more of this. I can't wait to get my hands on the full thing. And yeah, Gears is back, baby.
It really does feel that way after playing the multiplayer, now the campaign. I think the worst part, and you kind of talked about it, was like hitting the end of that demo and then thinking about the calendar and be like, damn, we still have over a month. Like
I
over a
want it
month
now.
to sit with all of this. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Tough. Xbox, man. Thank you so
No.
much, but you've hurt me.
Yeah. Yeah. Appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah,
but also
yeah.
like, come on.
Come on, man. Yeah, come on. Give me a little bit more.
Just
Give me a little bit more.
I
Give it
just
to
want
me
a
like
little bit
really
more.
early.
Yeah.
No, it's
Why'd you
really
have to make
awesome.
such a
Really excited.
good experience and then cut me off? Like,
I know it does. I feel like the end of that chapter was very like, and you're done. Thanks for
Yeah.
playing. I was like,
yeah.
I just wanted to go a little further. I just want to
I
see what
know,
happened there.
I know. Especially because of the open world stuff. I was like super intrigued by what comes next.
Yeah, I'm really liking Ty's squad in particular, like Maku and Manu, the twins that he's with.
Oh, sure,
are
yeah.
jokes. Like they are so funny. Just listening to them like back and forth and back
Yeah.
and forth.
Yeah.
Like, I'm out of ammo again. He's like, again? Why do you keep running out of ammo? How are you doing? He's like, I'll just get excited. He's like, why don't you try? Like, you got to hit your targets, man. He's like, well, it's easy for you to say with your pistol. And like, it's just funny back and forth like that. Are
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited.
Nice. Yeah. Me
And
too.
I hope they live. God, I hope they live.
I have a feeling a lot of people.
Everybody. I don't think a lot of people are
No,
getting out. I
no.
think we only know of 3 that are getting out of this. So,
Yeah.
and
3
Coltrane
guarantees.
shows up,
Who
but
knows?
yeah, 3 guarantees, but no one else is safe.
Yeah.
So, very curious to see what happens there.
Very much so. I think, yeah, a lot of people, if you're Gears of War fans, definitely have a lot to look forward to. Multiplayer, obviously, super strong in my opinion. Definitely, you know, some points of criticism and, you know, some questions about longevity and stuff like that. What they're going to do post launch, but as far as the campaign, actually really solid. I'm actually very impressed by what we got to play for over an hour and a half. But yeah, looking forward to it. If people were curious about our experiences playing the multiplayer, we have an episode on that. You guys can go check that out, whether it's YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you find your podcasts. And then we're doing our thing every single week on the gaming podcast, you know, talking video game news, other reviews. We got a Mortal Shell review as well. And, you know, TV and movie reviews as well. It's a lot of fun over here. So please.
There's a lot of things going on. A lot of things going on
Absolutely.
worth following,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah, worth following. You know, we're obviously carrying the channel. It's a lot of work, so we really appreciate everyone for supporting that.
My back
my
might
back.
give out. I'm doing
Oh
our
my
backs,
God.
man.
Oh,
my
man.
God.
Oh man,
Dude, my back is tendy. It's a little.
I know
tendy.
I know that, but we appreciate everyone for tuning in, for supporting the channel. We'll see you next time. Bye.